Hey, it's Kristen, and I have a question for you today. Have you ever calculated how much time you spend on average looking at screens? If you have not, I am here to tell you don't do it. You don't want to know. So work screen time aside, the average American spends 7 hours and 4 minutes looking at screens. And after some quick Googling, I found that on average, people spend about 84 minutes watching things online and almost 3 hours watching TV every day. And millennials have the highest screen time on their phones with about 3.4 hours every day. We are spending about 10 days every month just distracting ourselves. And if you do the math, that comes to more than 1/3 of our lives. And if that's not giving you an existential crisis, then I don't know what will. So I work online. So obviously I will naturally spend a lot of time in front of screens, either working or editing. That's work. It's not an issue for me. The real problem is my TV show binging addiction. There's also TikTok and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube, and also my phone game addiction to freaking Merge Dragons, which is so stupid. And all of those things obviously monopolize a pretty big chunk of my free time as well, and I've honestly had enough. I want to be more conscious of my free time and what I spend it on. So I decided for the month of July, I'm gonna go on an internet detox. I wanna break this distraction addiction that I feel like has been plaguing me for a pretty long time, because I have more important things that I wanna focus on. And there are so many more things that I'm more passionate about just in life in general than just reality TV. And one particular thing that I have been trying to achieve is to finish writing my book. I started writing it about 4 or 5 months ago. I was actually watching one of Skillshare's writing classes, and one of the prompts kind of ushered me into coming up with an idea for just a very short story. That short story sort of snowballed into, at least to me, it seemed like an amazing idea. And for someone that binge watches as much TV as I do and just sees the same stuff again and again, I was like, wow, this is actually really kind of original and unique and interesting. And I don't think I've had an idea like this before, and I've never read anything like this before. And very quickly, I was just so consumed by this story, and I was like, I guess I have to write it down now. And so I thought, this internet detox is a fantastic opportunity for me to kind of unplug and to focus on writing my book. Also helping me with doing more of the creative things and less of the distracting things is today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes to help you use your free time to learn and develop any skill you're interested in. The class, Writing Suspense, How to Write Stories That Thrill in Any Genre by Benjamin Percy, is now possibly one of my all-time favorite classes on Skillshare. Not only is it bursting with important information on how to structure a story, but Benjamin is also one of those charismatic teachers that you can listen to all day long and just never get bored. So this is my formal application to Skillshare to bring him back for more writing classes, pretty please. Another class that I very much enjoyed was The Writer's Toolkit, 6 Steps to a Successful Writing Habit by Simon Van Buie. One of his tips was finding a regular writing spot, and it was the whole reason I decided to clear up the wine cellar and convert it into my spooky writing cave. Another feature on Skillshare that I really appreciate since I started my internet detox is the ability to download classes through the app on my phone and watch without needing an internet connection or using up all my data. I downloaded a bunch of videos on different topics, and I've been taking new classes every day with my morning tea instead of just mindlessly scrolling on social media. Also, Skillshare is offering the first 1,000 of my viewers that sign up through my link in the description a 1-month free trial so you can start exploring your creativity today. So it's week 1. I've just recovered from COVID, so I'm still pretty fatigued at that point. The only physical activity I could still handle was a little bit of weed killing and dead branch sawing, offing. I'm just gonna do a little walk in the property. I was working on a video about restoring the bodega over here, but I did write a lot. I wrote a total of 10,000 words, which was my goal for that week. So I have started writing again. I am fleshing out the next chapter and like figuring out exactly what the plot is going to be so that there's no inconsistencies. I was really, really scared yesterday. I was like, oh, fuck. No Reddit, no Pinterest, no, not the Pinterest. Today, like, I instinctually just woke up and I put on my noise canceling headphones. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be a problem. I can do this. Not only like I can do this, I can like really benefit from this. So I was doing a Skillshare class this morning, the one by Mila Goldberg, and just like this little prompt kind of spiraled into tying up all the loose ends that I have in my story. I feel like I've got the ending that, you know, gives those chills to the reader and, you know, that feeling of what the fuck. And that's what I wanted. I also visited Cashojo, which is a very cute little town with this stunning black lava stone church that I haven't seen anywhere else. I am looking for my writing real estate, like somewhere where I can sit and write. I love this house. Such a shame. It even has like the old oven. It seems like the shoreline is encroaching on it slowly but surely. I think I found my spot. I also started keeping an internet detox journal, and on July 6th I wrote, I have a craving to look up what Blackpink and Kim Kardashian are doing on Instagram. I have no idea why. I feel like this is enough proof that I clearly have some issues that I'm hoping this detox is going to resolve. It's been now 7 days since I started my internet detox. I was not prepared to like come to terms with how addicted I really am to entertaining myself and distracting myself. Especially the first few days I would wake up every morning, I would look at my phone, my thumb would just hover over the Instagram app and I'd be like, don't open it, don't open it. So the only problem I had this week was that, you know, I had no access to distraction. I had no access to entertainment, like external entertainment. So it all had to come from myself. And so today I just feel tired. Like, I cleared out this bodega this week. I also filmed and edited. And I also came up here and I've wrote a total of like 25 pages for my book. And the only videos that I've watched have been Skillshare's videos with, like, again, educational information on how to be a better writer. The thing is, because I don't have the other distractions, when I'm listening to this or watching this educational content, I'm actually paying attention because I don't have my phone in front of me scrolling through Instagram simultaneously, because I've reached a point, and it's so embarrassing to admit that, but like I've reached a point where I would watch a TV show and scroll on Instagram at the same time. Like I would put one screen in front of me to entertain me and another smaller screen in front of me to entertain me from my entertainment. Like it was not healthy. The thing is, today was the hardest day for me because I am tired, and today I was like, I'm gonna go to the library today and I am not gonna download Love Island. I will not do that. I will not, and I shall not do it. I'm watching Love Island. I'm not even sorry about it. I've been alone for an entire week, for 2 weeks, actually. It's just one episode, and that's it. My screen time on my phone was a daily average of 5 hours and 19 minutes. But as you can see from the screenshot, most of it is just communication apps where I'm chatting to my family and my friends. I live here alone, so I definitely need to be talking to people as often as possible. I was also using my phone for educational stuff like Skillshare and also podcasts, which none of these are really an issue for me, at least. I know it's a lot higher than, you know, the average of normal people, but for me it works. So it's week 2 now. I'm feeling a lot healthier, so I start doing yoga every day. I wrote another 10,000 words, and I also did a lot of filming around Pico for a video that I was making about house hunting, which you can watch over there, I think. So I am up here on a pile of stones, and I'm looking at the view because this spot has just the most beautiful view. I'm reading The Empress of Salt and Fortune, and I am overdressed. It's not that cold. It really isn't. I went to the library today to work, and on my way back, I took like the longer detour, which goes by this really, really beautiful coastal spot with the natural pools. And I just sat there for a little bit, just taking in how beautiful everything is. I went to the supermarket today and I found, let me show you, vegan morcella, vegan linguiça, and I want to try the morcella today. Taste test. It's definitely not good, but like I have no recollection of what a sausage tasted like, but I think it was a lot juicier. This is completely dry, so I think it needs mollo. It is the 10th day of my internet detox. I am so tired. I am exhausted. For like 10 days straight, I've just been like, do things, because I don't want to get bored. Even without internet, like I have kept myself so busy. I have done so many things. I just want to lie down. I just want to take a nap. So I feel like I'm doing something wrong and I'm not learning something that I should be learning. I don't know. I also took a solo trip to the nearby island of Fayal. And then the 13th of July happened. I'd rather not talk about it. So, little internet detox update for ya. I cheated big time today. Ooh boy, and I don't regret it. I have been PMSing hard, okay? I just needed to unplug. I needed to unplug by plugging into the Matrix, and it gave me life. I swear, I watched like 3 episodes of Love Island. I did. I don't regret it. I feel so much better now. And then I went to the supermarket. I found ice cream, sweet potato fries, and like downloaded a shit ton of stuff, and I'm gonna go home now and I'm gonna eat more ice cream. And I'm cheating. Okay? I'm breaking my detox for the next, 4 days. Don't be mad. Don't be disappointed. I'm doing what's best for me. Good morning from my beautiful refuge, my adega. My man cave. Yesterday, I really had just the most depraved, debauched day. It was just Sodom and Gomorrah yesterday, all day. I was out of control, like a wild, just entertainment addicted, junk food addicted badger, and I have no regrets. None whatsoever. I feel so great today. I feel so like not tired and exhausted, and I think that I really needed that at that moment. But I'm taking advantage of the fact that like even though I am still PMSing, I feel great today and I have the capacity to focus again and do all the difficult things that require this thing to work. Because yesterday it really refused to cooperate with me. I've taken a 3-day break from writing. Oopsies. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to it now. Well, this is the peace and quiet that I have been talking about. This is the life. There is like nothing happening in my life. Absolutely nothing. and I am loving every second of all of this nothingness. After just lying in the sun for, what was it, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was like I got rebooted or something. Like sometimes the solutions to like big problems like being extremely fatigued are just go out, go to the sun and lie there with sunscreen. My screen time was 5 hours and 5 minutes, and I finished the last day of week 2 by watching The Nanny, which, how can someone be like disappointed at themselves for watching such a great show? Overall, I did get a lot of things done, and I did reach my writing goal for the week, but yeah. So now it's week 3 of my internet detox, which is starting to go south. Things are going south. Did I socialize? Yes. Did I go on a hike? Yes. Did I go to my first pottery class? Also, yes. Did I work, film, edit, and post another great video? I did, yes. Did I stop myself from watching The Nanny and also season 1 and maybe season 2 of Succession? No, I didn't. Did I complete my 10,000 word goal for the week? No, I did only a little more than 5,000, so things kind of spiraled. I can see that. Why do I look like a house elf? What's going on with my face? I've fallen off the wagon. It started with me taking the car and parking it in Kaish and connecting to the free Wi-Fi for work at first. Started with one Love Island episode and then another Love Island episode. I downloaded a lot of stuff. Man, I was out of control. I was downloading this show. I was downloading that show, and and I just couldn't stop. Torrenting and downloading. And like, I know now I should like turn the show off and open like the chapter that I'm writing and just start writing again, but I don't want to. And I'm thinking like, you know what, maybe, start from tomorrow the detox again. Not now, you gotta finish the episode. But I know I'm gonna finish the episode and then I'm just gonna watch another. I feel there's a battle, there's a war in my mind, and I'm losing. I feel myself fighting. I feel myself being like, Kristen, you know what the right thing to do is, but then this other part of me is like, yeah, but I know you wanna like write a book and like finish editing all your videos as early as possible so that you can have more free time. But like, have you thought about doing nothing? My screen time was also 5 hours and 18 minutes, so things didn't improve there either. It's week 4. This is the final week of my challenge. Here's the good stuff that happened. It was my best week here. I had the most fun I have ever had on this island. Maybe the most fun summer I've ever had. I went to a lot of festas. I ate a lot of favas. I ate a lot of vegan ice cream. I went on a lot of walks as well. I've now made 2 friends on the island, which is like 2 more friends than I normally make in the span of like 5 years. So that's great. Like going through the books with Ines. And this is where you stop.
Oh my god.
A melhor lembrança. She loves it. She loves it. And I not only completed my goal of 10,000 words this week, but I also completed the book. The first draft. The book is so far from being ready. Hello again. This is our last week together. Forever. No. Last week of my internet detox. I don't know if I'm like genuinely excited for it to end, to be honest, because I've been getting like so much stuff done. This is not only the last week of my internet detox, but it's also the week where I finish my book. I have one last chapter, one last part of the story left, and then it's done. The first draft is done. And I don't know how I feel about that either, because it just needs so much work still. Like, writing a book is no joke. Anyone that's written a book, as shitty as it may be, hats off to them. I can't believe it. To all the British people watching, I apologize. But like, I genuinely cannot believe that I am like so close to finishing my first book at 30 years old, which is, I think, so inspiring. This is why I think I am very inspiring. I grew up with this idea that like by the time you're 30, you should have figured everything out and have settled down and have achieved this and this and this and this and this, and like kind of life ends there. But in reality, like for me, I feel like now that I'm 30 and I have spent like all of my 20s working, and I'm still working, but I feel like now that I'm 30, I have the ability to be and do all the things that I wanted to do in my 20s and I couldn't. You know, whatever comes with this book, which is the greatest book that is ever written, but whether or not it gets published, I'm just really proud of myself that I've done it, that I came up with the best fucking story that has ever been created. And I managed to write it down. It's done. And this is my state. I got dressed up and glammed up because I knew it was a special occasion. You see, I'm wearing sequins, and also I have toothpaste on a huge zit that came out on my face. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because the book is not even close to being actually finished. So I'll save like my festive look for that day. Healthy people would normally crack a bottle of champagne or a wine and toast to themselves. My version of toasting to myself is shoving as much food as I possibly can in my face, and shoving as much shitty reality TV in my face as I possibly can. And that is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, let's get into the bad stuff, because it's so funny when like life gives you a lot of good things, there's also a lot of crazy things that happen at the same time. So I was awakened at 5 a.m. from an insane car accident. What is happening? It was a rough night. I wake up suddenly from a huge bang, and it sounded like so close to the house where I'm like, okay, I need to check what this is. I open the window and I look out and I see this burning car, and I start just like panicking, because the first thing you think when you see a car in a state like that is, what has happened to the people in the car? I run out of the house and I get to the street and I'm looking at this flaming car. I'm freaking out, and there's this guy, this like really skinny, tall guy with an axe in his hand, just standing in front of the fire. And I ask him, "Are you okay?" And he's like slowly walking towards me with an axe in his hand for some reason. And he's like, "No, I'm not okay." And I'm looking at him up and down and I don't see any injuries at all. And so it's just a really creepy thing. I get that if that was his car, he's not okay, but it's really creepy in the middle of the night. And so I freaked out even more, because I'm like, oh, this is the beginning of the horror movie that is going to be the end of my life. I'm going to start being chased down the street by a mad axe man. That's when the cops pulled by. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. I think it was the axe guy that crashed the car into a tree and it just exploded. And he thankfully had enough time to get out of the car. But it's so funny because that day, yesterday, I was literally on the phone with my mom. We were reminiscing about the fires last year and how traumatic that was. And I was like, here I feel safe. I feel, I'm not that scared of the people or the burglars or the fires. And the universe heard that probably, and it was like, LOL, let's teach her a lesson. LOL spells let's teach her a lesson. And also, I watched Love Island, I watched Succession, And I also watched a movie called The Duchess, which was beautiful, stunning, the costumes, wow. What an experience watching that. I don't regret that at all. And just Love Island is so fun, which is so hard to regret it, but I should regret it. I have a problem and I see that now. My screen time was also the highest. It's been at 5 hours and 26 minutes, but I was posting on Instagram throughout the entire week. So again, I don't really have an issue with that. Like, it's my job to post on social media, so I'm not gonna cry about it. After falling off the wagon on the 13th of the month, so not even halfway through the challenge, it was pretty much impossible for me to quit again. The positive is that I did stay away from TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Reddit, all the stupid phone games. I did use Instagram, but that was only to post stories. I did not scroll, and to be honest, I don't want to scroll. I actually get like pretty mad every time I open the app now, because even though like I like Instagram stories, I like them because I have the option to choose whose Instagram stories I can watch and whose I can just ignore. But when it comes to the Instagram feed, it's just so, I don't know, aggressive with just throwing videos at you constantly. And it's all videos that I don't want to see. I don't want to watch a single video of anyone on Instagram. If I want to watch a video, I can go and watch great stuff on YouTube, and I can go and watch like distracting stuff on TikTok. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like it. And I find it really off-putting, and it makes me just pissed off every time like the feed just automatically refreshes itself. I'm like, just stop. It's just eating all my data. I just can't. It's annoying. At this point, I'm like almost 2 months without using TikTok. And for this app, I have to say that it scares me. It's just this black hole that sucks up all of my time. And it's also just this emotional slot machine, and I just don't think that it's healthy for me. Once I open the app, I am lost in it for hours. I don't like how much power it has over me, and so from the moment that I cannot control myself, because it's specifically designed to make it impossible for the user to control themselves and turn the app off, I just have to like not use it at all. So internet-wise and social media-wise and all that stuff, I did manage to stay away from pretty much everything other than TV shows and reality TV. So on one hand, I succeeded with breaking some bad habits, and on the other hand, I failed massively. My total average daily screen time, so my phone and my laptop together, was 6.5 hours every day. I was making a conscious effort to bring my total screen time down, and I only managed to bring it to like half an hour less than the US average of like, 7 hours. That was with effort. Tremendous effort, which means that before this, my daily screen time was about 10 hours. This challenge made me really face my mortality and what I'm doing with it. And a third of my life looking at screens is not what I want, not at all what I want. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop watching movies and TV shows completely. Absolutely not. I do enjoy watching some, but it can't take up such a big part of my life. I don't want to be plugged in anymore. I may have failed at completely detoxing myself from all of this stuff, but I did come to a realization of how important this is and how much work it's gonna take for me to be able to just consume more consciously, because I'm pretty good with the stuff that I consume when it comes to food and clothes and shopping and all that. I have not been as conscious as I would have liked to be when it comes to the things that I'm putting in front of my face. So of course the next question for me as a content creator is like, am I making sure that the stuff that I'm putting in front of people's faces are worth their time, are offering them something valuable, or is it just a plain distraction and just something to watch and be numbed? And I would like to think that, since the beginning of my social media career, I've always tried to make sure that it's the first. I've always tried to make sure that the stuff that I'm putting out is offering something of value. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope it wasn't just a big waste of your time, your precious, precious, finite time that we all have on this earth, because we're all eventually gonna die. So let's spend our time working all day long so that we can give our money to Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and waste every single waking second making the rich richer, shall we? This needs to stop. I'm spiraling.